applicability is concerned, whether e-invoicing is applicable to you or not. So from 1st October, you know that you are aware that the e-invoicing is already made mandatory for the taxpayer who are having a turnover above 500 crore. Then from 1st December, they are saying that the taxpayer who are having a turnover above 500 crore, they are required to generate the QR code for the B2C invoices. So for the B2C invoices now, from 1st December, they could require to generate the QR code. And from 1st January 2021, e-invoicing is made mandatory. So notification is already issued and e-invoicing is made mandatory for the businesses having the turnover more than 100 crore. So if your turnover is more than 100 crore, then definitely from 1st January 2021, the e-invoicing is applicable to your company. Now the question arises that for which year you have to check the 100 crore. So if you refer the notification 70 by 2020, read with 13 notification, it says that you have to check the turnover for the last 3 years or from the 17-18. So when GST law was introduced, so you have to check the turnover of the 3 years in any 1 year or in any of the year from 17-18. If your turnover has crossed 100 crore, then e-invoicing is applicable. So now this you got to know. Now the third question could be in mind that what is the turnover? So whether my exempt turnover is going to be included for computation of 100 crore, whether I have to compute for my all businesses. So for this, the question or for this question, you have to refer the definition of aggregate turnover. So term used is aggregate turnover, and aggregate turnover is defined under section 2(6). So as far as aggregate turnover is concerned, aggregate turnover includes the exempt supply. So even you are supplying the exempt goods and some of the taxable goods for the purpose of computing of the 100 crore, or whether you have entity or your company has crossed the 100 crore that you require to compute, then you have to include the exempt supply. Also the export of goods, interstate supply, and second and most important that the 100 crore limit has to be checked PAN level. So if you are having a presence in different state and you are having a 2 or 3 GSTN for under the one PAN, then you have to check the 100 crore limit for the PAN level. That is, you have to club the turnover of all your GSTN for the checking. The once you process the 100 crore turnover PAN level, then for all your branches or for all your GSTN, this e-invoicing concept is made applicable. I think everyone is now clear about the applicability, or you can at least track your applicability, whether your company is getting covered under the parameter of the e-invoicing from 1st January or not. So compute 100 crore accordingly for the last 3 years. Any 1 year, if you are crossing the 100 crore, then you are eligible or you are required to generate the invoicing from 1st January, and that is a mandatory. Now, second, there are some entities which had made the exempted. So these entities are exempted by way of notification. Which are that entities? All other entities are liable to invoicing. Only these entities are exempt. That are SEZ unit. So SEZ unit has exempted, but not the SEZ developer. So SEZ developer has to generate the e-invoicing, but SEZ unit is exempted. Insurer, banking company, financial institution, NBFC, GTA, passenger, administrator, multiplex. So these are the entities which are exempted to generate the e-invoicing. Second key aspect about this is that it is clarified that the exemption given is not entity wise. So it's a exemption given is not for the entity but for the business. So what is means by that? For the business means if you are a banking company and you are under exemption category and you are providing the banking services, then definitely you are not required to generate the e-invoicing. But if you are selling the scrap or selling the goods which is taxable in normal course of, and it is not normal course of the banking business, then even you are a bank, then you are required to generate the e-invoicing. So the exemption given is the core business and not core entity. So this is the exemption. Now, once you got you covered under, now you got that you had covered under the e-invoicing. then what are the legal provision and what are the care you should take once you get covered under the e-invoicing. So first, the tax invoice. If you refer section 31, it says that the tax invoice should be issued in the manner prescribed. And the manner is prescribed under Rule 48, which is to be on electronic portal. So if you refer 48.5, it said that the invoice is not, if you are not issued the invoice in the manner prescribed, that is whatever the e-invoicing related manner, then that invoice is not treated as an invoice for the purpose of GST law. That means if you had not satisfied the criteria related to e-invoicing, then your invoice is not valid as per the GST law from 1st January, one can say. Second, related to the section 16. If you refer to section 16, it says that the my voice is breaking. So if you refer the section 16, then condition for availment of input tax credit, it says that the input tax credit is available only if you had received or in possession of the proper tax invoice. So as a recipient also, you have to ensure that your vendor, if he crosses 100 crores, then he has issued the e-invoicing, proper e-invoicing with QR code. So if you see, this section is relevant to whom? So definitely whoever having a turnover more than 500 crore, e-invoicing is already implemented to them, but they are facing many of the challenges. Like they are facing the challenge of automation, they are facing the implementation challenges. There are many challenges they are nowadays they are facing, and hence they should improve that in days to come so that the process should be smoothened in days to come. Second, the turnover having 100 crore, they should start preparing for the implementation of the e-invoicing. And all other taxpayer, even the e-invoicing is not applicable, at least they have to ensure that the whatever invoice they had received are proper. So if they had received or they had received the goods or services from the entities who had crossed the turnover of 100 crore, then they should track that they had issued the invoice with proper QR code so that the eligibility of input tax credit has not questioned afterwards. So this is as a recipient, your responsibility. So for everyone, one can say that there is a technology change and not for only the supplier. As a recipient, you have to prepare for the e-invoicing from now, and whether your vendor is prepared, or you have to check whether your vendor is prepared or not.